What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to this gorgeous Florida sunset just before the storms are rolling in. And welcome back to the Loner P85. Yes, we are in a Loner P85 right now. If you're new to the channel, my name's Kyle. I have a 2014 Model S P85. This is a Loner P85. Yeah, needless to say, I did a 1,000-mile road trip from Maryland down to Florida. If you haven't seen that vlog, go check it out. And it was good for a while, but then something went awry, and that's where the issues lie. Did you see that rhyme? Anyways, it's in the shop right now. My car is at Tampa Service Center. They were fantastic, gave me a complimentary loaner. The part is still on order. I got a text message this morning, so that's kind of the update. They're still just waiting on the part to arrive, and then they can fix my car. It's looking like it's going to be around $1,500, but you can see my other vlogs if you want to see more stuff about that. Anyways, today we are actually talking about how to save money buying a new or basically new Model S3 or X, or should I say and X? It's a way to save money on all of them, and just some other I guess potential hacks on how you can get different variants for different prices and things like that. So anyways, let's hit the road because, well, as you can see, I have my laptop right here. I'm actually trying to upload a vlog using my my phone. As you can see, that little blue line, that means I'm tethering right now. It's gonna take an hour to do another like 10% of the battery, or 10% of the upload. So we're actually heading, I think, to a Whole Foods, probably, because they have like the fastest Wi-Fi around here. Unfortunately, it's 20 minutes away, but luckily they have a supercharger. So we're heading there. Let's hit the road, and we'll talk about some stuff on the way. Alright, so if we want to talk about new Model 3s, S's, and X's, this is my understanding of the current configurations. So if you go online right now and you click on Model S's, you basically have the choice between the long-range Model S and the performance Model S. And similar story with the Model X, is you have the long-range Model X and then you have the performance Model X. So it's very simple, very streamlined, and I believe it's a $20,000 difference between the long-range versions and the performance versions for those cars. There's no additional upgrades anymore for like ludicrous plus performance or anything like that. The performance is the performance. You get the whole shebang if you buy the performance option. It's 20 grand more, and yeah, that is what it's pretty simple, right? So the Model 3, this is where it gets a little bit more complicated. So right now, my understanding is there's the standard range plus, and then there is also the long range, and then the performance. So again, there's 3 different variants. The standard plus is rear wheel drive only, and then you have the long range and the performance, which are both all wheel drive. Now, this is where it gets a little bit tricky. The Model 3 has more options than that. You see, the standard plus is available online, but you don't see the standard. Now, if you want the standard, it is cheaper than the standard plus. And that's where what you would do is, I believe you would go in and order a standard plus, and then you would work with a Tesla rep in order to basically get rid of some things in order to make it cheaper. So if you're looking for a way to save money and still get into a Model 3, there is a standard option that just has a few things less than the standard plus. Now, I don't actually know exactly what that is. I didn't get into details because, well, I'm honestly not that interested in it. If I was looking at a Model 3, it would probably be the performance. But the point is, if you want to get into a cheaper Model 3 than what you actually see online, it is an option. Just ask. And you'll right away, right there, probably save a couple grand. Now, the next thing is, there used to be what was called a Stealth Model 3 Performance, and the Stealth was effectively a Model 3 like long range, but then it had the performance upgrade to the software. So the difference here is that you weren't paying for the performance wheels and tires, you weren't paying for the lowered suspension, which is a different suspension, and I think there were one or two other things that you made. Oh, the carbon fiber spoiler. So it basically just looked like a long-range Model 3, but you had the performance software, meaning you still got 0 to 60 in effectively 3.2 seconds. I believe you still had the track mode, that kind of stuff. So it was truly just like a software upgrade to a long-range Model 3. Now, here's what's interesting. When I talked to a Tesla rep recently, they said that the Stealth Model 3s were actually, they're not like the standard Model 3, where you sort of order a standard plus, and then you call them up and say, hey, I actually just want the standard, can you take away some features so it's cheaper, and they'll do that. The Stealth Model 3s were actually, at least my understanding, and from what this Tesla rep said, were like an oops from the factory. They didn't mean to get made. However, I guess they shipped them with the software maybe, so they had them as inventory. And because of this, if you asked and they had the inventory and they were able to find it, they were selling them, and they were obviously cheaper than a Model 3 Performance because you effectively weren't paying for the wheels and suspension and carbon fiber spoiler and that sort of stuff. So it was neat. Now, the reason that the Tesla rep, and why I also reiterate that it wasn't oops, is because you can't call up Tesla and order a Stealth Model 3 Performance. However, he did mention that now online, if you go online and you click on the Model 3 Performance, you can click on getting the upgrade to the performance package. And what's interesting is it doesn't change the price at all. But if you don't opt for the performance package, you don't get track mode. So you don't get all of the software. So if you wanted, potentially a better ride and more range out of your car because you don't have the performance wheels, you can't get that and get track mode too, which is kind of peculiar. You'd think that the software would be exactly the same, and the differences again would be the wheels, the suspension, the carbon fiber spoiler, and that it would almost be like if you choose the Model 3 Performance, you can then deselect and say, I just want like a standard setup car, and it would subtract some money. But instead, it's the exact same price. I believe it's $57,990. I believe that's what it was saying online. And if you check or uncheck that performance package, you can see the list of all the things included in that. It doesn't change the price at all, but you don't have track mode. So, it is an interesting situation. And when you click on and you look at like the wheels, for example, the wheels are larger wheels on the Performance. It does say that the range will be less. It'll be under 300 miles, whereas the long range Model 3, I believe, is rated at like 322 miles of range. So it is quite interesting. But yeah, technically there isn't a way to, I guess, save money on a Model 3 Performance in that sense, but there is another way. Oh, real quick, while we're sitting in traffic, if you're enjoying the content, please consider liking and subscribing. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers, so just hit that subscribe button down below. We'll get there before you know it, and I really appreciate everybody who's checked out the channel. If you're new to the channel, if you keep coming back to watch more, and if you hate the content, I apologize. It's YouTube, so you can kind of just click on the next video if that's your preference. Anyways, onto the video. Yeah, we're sitting in quite a bit of traffic. What? Are you guys ready for this? So this is a way to save money on, well, let's just say you want to buy a brand new Model 3 Performance. You don't want to buy used, you want to buy a new one, but you want to save some money. Well, okay, you guys ready? Okay, ready? You go to a Tesla store, right? You put in a reservation. Well, actually, you don't have to do this, but if you go online and you put in a reservation for a test drive, and you go out in a Model 3 Performance that's at like a mall, for example, where you go to a Tesla store and you're sitting in that car and you're taking it for a test drive and you're like, wow, this thing's awesome, I want to buy this car right now. They'll sell it to you, and you know what they'll do? They'll discount it because it was effectively a demo car, but you buy it as a new car. So usually they have fairly low mileage. So for example, if you were to go out in a demo car, or whatever you want to call them, and it only had 100, 200 miles on it, not much, you can buy it from Tesla effectively as is. They'll fix anything major, make sure, you know, it's in perfect working condition. However, you know, any minor scuffs or scratches like inside from people getting in and out of the cars, that will not be fixed. But that is why you can get a discount. So you're technically buying, they consider it a new car. So you buy it from Tesla, you get, I think, $1,000 off, but I think that's all you'll get. I don't think you'll get more than $1,000. If you want $1,000 off, you can talk to the people at a Tesla store, and I believe that you can get $1,000 off whatever cars they might have. They can work something out. They usually call up Tesla and they get something done, but I don't think that they discount it more than $1,000, because usually the mileage is still low. They are effectively selling it as a new car, so you get like a new car warranty, all of that good jazz, and they make sure it's in perfect working condition, but you get a little bit of a discount. So obviously, if you're looking at a Model 3, this makes a lot more sense, because, well, $1,000 is a much larger percentage of the price that you pay for a Model 3 than it would be on a Model S or X. Because at that point, I mean, on a $100,000 car, $1,000, yes, it's something. So if you want to take it, you know, you can do it for those as well. But I basically asked after I test drove that performance Model S the other day, and I said, hey, are all of those cars for sale? Like, are they just listed on your website? And he said, no, they're not actually listed, but if you were truly interested in buying one, they can effectively call up Tesla, like corporate, I guess, and get something done and figure out what the car is actually worth. So I don't know if they would discount more than $1,000, but he did basically say that typically they discounted $1,000, and that's really as much as you're going to get. Also, there's a GT3 right over here, a black GT3 in traffic. Very nice looking car. Also sounds really good. Woo-wee. Anyways, if you guys want to save money on Teslas, on new Teslas, I guess, that is sort of the way to do it. So unfortunately, there aren't like official stealth performance Model 3s anymore, but online you can still spec it as a stealth model. However, I don't think that actually saves you money anymore. But if you are looking for a standard plus Tesla and wanted to save a couple bucks, didn't need the plus options, you can tell them that you want a standard Model 3, and they can drop the price down from there. And then also, if you test drive any of their demo cars at a store and you like one and it has low mileage, well, if you want to save at least $1,000, I think, you can ask them and basically say, hey, I want this car, and I think they can work with you and figure something out. So thank you, Waze. That's probably why we're sitting in all this traffic. Anyways, I hope this was helpful. If you're enjoying the content, please consider liking and subscribing. The subscribe button's right down below. Would really appreciate it. But that's gonna be it for this vlog. Just you know, some tips and tricks on how to save some money when you're potentially looking for a new Tesla. Anyways, until next time, guys, thanks for watching.